Imagine a country that has banned alcohol for 72 years suddenly making a U-turn. Surprised? So were we. In an unexpected turn of events, Saudi Arabia has announced that it will allow the sale of alcohol for the first time in 72 years. But before you start imagining bustling liquor stores, there's a catch. This shop will be exclusively accessible to non-Muslim diplomats. That's right, the rest of the population won't be able to just walk in and buy a bottle. Customers will have to register via an application, and in an added layer of security, they'll be required to keep their phones in a special pouch while browsing. It's a move that's not just about allowing alcohol sales, but about maintaining a level of control over the process. This decision forms part of a larger picture, the Vision 2030 reform agenda. It's an ambitious plan spearheaded by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, aimed at attracting more foreigners and diversifying the Saudi economy. This decision, as expected, has sparked a wave of reactions, both domestically and internationally. In a society that has long held a strict stance against alcohol, the reactions are as diverse as they are passionate. In the wake of this surprising policy shift, opinions among Saudi residents are deeply divided. For some, this move signifies a potential step towards a more open and cosmopolitan society. They see it as a sign that the kingdom is willing to adapt to global norms, even if it means shaking up long-standing cultural practices. Others, however, are not so thrilled. They express concerns about the impact on Saudi Arabia's culture and identity. Critics argue that this decision could erode the country's traditional values and disrupt societal norms that have been in place for decades. They fear that this could be a slippery slope, leading to wider availability of alcohol in the historically teetotal kingdom. The government's perspective on this matter is quite different. They state that the main goal of this policy is not to liberalize alcohol laws, but rather to counter the illicit trade of alcohol goods received by diplomatic missions. By allowing a controlled and regulated sale of alcohol, they aim to undercut the black market and ensure the safety of diplomatic personnel. However, this policy change isn't just causing a stir among the locals. The international community is also watching closely. Some see it as a sign of progress, aligning with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030 reform agenda, which aims to modernize the kingdom and attract more foreigners. Others, however, view it as a risky move that could potentially destabilize the region. But what does this mean for the future of Saudi Arabia, and how might it affect the rest of the world? While it's too early to predict with certainty, the implications of this policy change could be far-reaching. This move by Saudi Arabia could be a game-changer, not just culturally but economically as well. It is seen as part of the Crown Prince's Vision 2030 reform agenda, which aims to diversify the country's economy and attract more foreigners. The introduction of alcohol sales could potentially boost tourism, and in turn contribute to the growth of the hospitality industry. However, it's not without its uncertainties. The new policy could impact the restaurant industry as well as non-alcoholic beverage vendors. While the store is meant to be accessible only to non-Muslim diplomats, the fact that it exists at all could potentially influence the wider availability of alcohol in the future. This in turn could alter the dynamics of the local market, possibly leading to new opportunities for businesses, but also new challenges. Another key aspect to consider is the aim of the policy to counter the illicit trade of alcohol. By providing a legal avenue for alcohol purchase, the government might be able to better regulate and control the circulation of alcohol in the country. This could potentially lead to a decrease in the illegal trade and ensure the safety and quality of the products. However, it's important to remember that these are only potential outcomes. The actual impact of this policy change will only become clear over time and will likely depend on how it's implemented and regulated. This move might just be the first ripple in a wave of change set to sweep across the nation. So, a nation that has prohibited alcohol for over 7 decades has taken its first step towards change. This policy shift, seen as part of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030 reform agenda, has elicited mixed reactions. While some see it as a potential gateway to wider alcohol availability, others fear it could impact the country's culture and identity. The implications too are uncertain, especially for the restaurant industry and non-alcoholic beverage vendors. Whether this move will lead to a more open society or not, only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the world will be watching closely.